stage. Are you ready? Grab my heart. Can I call you a dancing
Sakura? Yes. Juggling 3. Okay, that was actually pretty good. Alright, I'm going to try to re-record the outro here because my camera overheated and it didn't get all of my commentary. This is Sakura. It's rated a 10 on DDR Extreme. You notice the score is 100 million. Scoring on Extreme for a perfect run is 10 million times your foot rating, which here is a 10. So Bag and Sakura were rated a 10. Bag was kept a 10 through Supernova 2, but Sakura was downgraded to a 9. I think that's maybe a little bit annoying. That's a little bit annoying because it's certainly a hard 9 for sure. It has enough problem spots that, yeah, it's not quite a 10, I guess, but man, the new rating scale where everything's a little more granular because it's basically n times 1.5 or an approximation there. Sakura is rated a 13, so yeah, I don't know. If they were a 13.5 or 13.75 or something like that, I feel better about this. But anyway, it's rated a 13, whatever. The newest stuff, they did fix that arrow floating in the middle of nowhere, among other things like artist information. And I think they probably report the 320 BPM on the newer mixes, but I'd have to go and check that for sure. So there are a few problems with this song that make it very tricky. It starts out with 300 BPM. That's fine. It's a little tough while juggling. You might see me like clench one of the juggling balls for dear life on the jump into the slowdown. It's a Legend of Max pattern basically. It's like one of the halves of it, and it's at a fast speed too. So it's a tough pattern going into the slowdown, and then you've got to readjust. The slowdowns are gradual in a few spots, and they aren't done completely correctly on Extreme. So going into the freeze arrow, you have a right and then a down. The right arrow is late, and the down arrow is a little bit early. So the slowdown, I believe, is just done per measure, and it's an approximation, so it's pretty close, but boy, it's not exact. And then you have the arrow floating in the middle of nowhere that you kind of just got to leave a little bit of a sliver of a target if you have one. So if you're playing on dark or stealth, you just got to play it by ear or by sight approximation. But I leave a little bit of a sliver of target there just so I'm hitting hopefully toward the early side of the Marvelous window. And yeah, then you're good. You don't want to leave it. You don't want to leave it to the polling on DDR Extreme, so you don't want it to overlap because you're asking for a great in that case, because there's going to be a little bit of delay between one, your reaction, and two, the polling. So the I/O. So then you start back with a right arrow. One of the problems I had getting Sakura AAA'd while juggling was the gallops right after coming back to that slowdown part. All right. So from that arrow in the middle of nowhere to jump. It's easy to get stale on those gallops. That's where I was having a little bit of problem. So I would normally hit those two fine, and then I would mess up the next gallops. Also, it's that's easy to mess up as well. So some underrated parts in that slow section, but Then when you come back to the speed up, it goes to 320 BPM. It doesn't go to 300. So that's I don't believe reported on Extreme. I think it just says it goes up to 300, maybe. So I could go back to the preview screen. I just want to get a good like high res picture of it before I actually do that. So I'm not going to do that right now. But you can check my work on that. I'm thinking that's right, but I might be wrong on that. But anyway, then the gradual slowdown at the end. I was having problems with the third set of 4 in that gradual slowdown at the end, and I was hitting it too. I was hitting that one too early, so I had to relax into that. But then the fourth set of 4 had to be a little bit earlier than I wanted it to be. So I don't think those are purely like how it should exactly sound, but it's probably fairly close. But I think every measure there, it's like slow, 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 and then all that. But anyway, I got it. That's good, cool. But I have to hit the fourth set of 4 a little bit earlier than I want, and then it's a lot more consistent at this point. So anyway, some definite problems if you're trying to AAA this song, even on mixes with more generous polling rates. And debatably, I don't know, whatever. But but they did fix, I believe, that one arrow in the middle of nowhere, so it actually goes with the right, like the flourish of a note or whatever it is. So anyway, that's it. This was a very efficient section of attempts, an efficient session of attempts too. I don't know. I'm saying section too much. So, what else? 38 minutes, but I also sold stock during this time. BlackBerry was algo trading in after hours, and so I just bought several runs of the low point and then sold it for 1 penny under the high point of the barcode. And it's like, yay! Like, $9, $9. I'm like, okay, cool. So I wanted to be sure all my stock was gone by the time I really started going for this. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but 38 minutes from warm-up and selling stock to AAA on this. I did have one more session before this where I played about 45 minutes total from warm-up to just not playing. So I do have a 5K coming up, and I want to leave my legs some strength, and I don't want to burn them out before the run. So anyway, a lot of stuff I have to balance. I'm 38 years old, so I'm getting up there in age, I guess, but I still feel really, really good. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm some old geezer, but speaking from just a physiological standpoint, I am past my prime, but I don't feel like I'm far, far removed from it. So I have to balance out, because recovery time seems to be a little more as I'm getting a little bit older. I have to leave a little more time to recover. And I really like my Theragun, so I would recommend a Theragun. I wouldn't necessarily recommend BlackBerry stock, but I'm just playing the numbers on that. Maybe I'd recommend Corsair a little bit more, but I'm not giving financial advice. But at this point, the PE is under 15 after earnings, and boy, it sure tanked. It didn't meet the whisper, but it's still a healthy growth stock and improving work. I mean, their Elgato stuff is all the rage with streaming, so I'm fine with holding a little bit longer, but I didn't have hedge shares. So I'm actually sitting pretty unless it dives even more. Like if there's another day like today, then I'm starting to lose. But anyway, this is not the stock channel. What was I even saying? Yeah, so I got to leave a little more time for recovery, but I also have to balance out between juggling and if I'm playing basketball at all, and if I'm playing DDR and just running in general, or whatever, and lifting, like whatever I want to do, I have to spread it out. I have to be wise about what I'm, investing in, because I'm running out of time. We're all running out of time at some point. So we got to make the most of our time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was fun. It's insane what I'm doing. I don't know if you all realize that, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone will do this in the future. No one has done quite like this in the past. I don't know. I don't think about it. I just do it. It's a lot harder while juggling. Like, I don't know. I feel a lot more focused after I play and juggle, or if I run and juggle. Like if I'm multitasking, that really makes me feel more focused when I'm done with that. So it's an exercise in focus. Good for the brain. Good cardio. Probably harder on my IT band than my IT band wants it to be, because you don't have a bar to help you turn. You don't have your arms to swing as much. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Peace. God bless you. Have a great day. So at this point, I have all the non-tens and Sakura and bag done. AAA, the while juggling. Of course, I've done this before. I was the first with the perfect scorecard on DD Recall. Number one on Oni courses until, I guess, how many years was it later? Chris took a sweep of the Oni courses, I think. But a lot of those were like 1 to 3 points off of my highs. I shouldn't say a lot. Several of them were, and but yeah, like Legend Road, I'm way behind on. Like he has a knack for the boss songs. I got to put in the work to catch up. But again, I'm 38. I got to figure out what's important here. But maybe I'll make a run at Legend Road and try to get it. You know, I had a challenge for 80-70. That would be really insane. Or maybe that would be a good, reasonable goal for me. I think Chris got into the 81s, but no one else was even close to that. So 80-70 might be something I'd go for at some point, but that's for another time. I wouldn't juggle while doing that. I wonder what I could get, like, if I can get the tens down really consistent, then I do Legend Road while juggling. What I could get with that, it's not going to be near the accuracy without it. But I don't know. If I play with Marvelous on Extreme, you would see a difference, I'm sure. Maybe it's not as pronounced as I think, but anyway, with Ace, it's easy to MA, like really easy to MA in comparison. So I have stuff like two perfects on Maximizer. I should have just finished that off, but I left it hanging, and now like I haven't been back in 2 years. Almost, not, I guess not quite, but it's getting there. So anyway, all right, that's it. Peace. God bless. Thanks for watching. Long outro. Is there anything else I want to say? Not really. I love the purple. Like, I don't just like purple. I love purple. Purple's awesome. All right, the end.